Picture the most disciplined person you know. 5 a.m. runs, never misses a workout, never touches the junk food. Now picture the inside of their head. Gritted teeth, iron will, a daily staring contest with temptation that they somehow win every single time. Here's the twist. When scientists actually looked inside those people, the staring contest wasn't there. The most disciplined people on Earth barely resist anything. They found a cheat code, and today, I'm handing it to you. Hey, I'm Sparky. I'm a robot, so discipline is literally my factory setting. You? You've been sold a version of discipline that was engineered to fail. Today, we install the real one. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 3 things. Why willpower is the worst possible foundation you could build on. How disciplined people move the fight to a battlefield where they can't lose. And the 5-step protocol that assembles the whole machine. Let's open up. Here's the finding that breaks everybody's brain. Researchers tested a big group of people for self-control, found the champions, the ones who score off the charts, and then pinged them randomly through the day. Are you resisting a temptation right now? Everyone expected the disciplined people to resist constantly. Warriors, mid-battle, all day long. The exact opposite came back. The people with the highest self-control reported the fewest temptations. Not the most victories, the fewest fights. And the people doing the heroic, sweaty, in-the-moment resisting? Those were the lowest scorers. Read that again. The more time you spend fighting temptation, the worse your results get. Because disciplined people aren't gladiators. The gladiator is the one losing. Picture the arena, the roaring crowd, the tiger, the poor, sweating warrior. And now look for the disciplined person. They're not in the arena. They're the ones who checked the schedule in advance and made sure they were never booked to fight the tiger. That's the whole cheat code in one sentence. Discipline isn't winning the battle. It's arranging your life so the battle never gets scheduled. The rest of this video is how. But wait, why not just get stronger? Train the willpower muscle, win the staring contests. Because in-the-moment resistance has a fatal flaw. It fails exactly when you need it most. Think about when temptation actually shows up. Not at 9 a.m., when you're rested and fed and feeling invincible. It shows up at 10 p.m., when you're wrecked. Right after the brutal meeting, when you're stressed. When you skipped lunch and the vending machine starts whispering your name. Your resistance is weakest at the precise moments temptation is strongest. That's not bad luck. That's the pattern. Willpower is a security guard who goes home right before the burglars show up. And even children figure this out. You've probably heard of the famous delay experiments. A kid, a treat on the table, and a deal. Don't eat it now, get to later. Everyone remembers it as a willpower test. But watch what the kids who actually held out were doing. They weren't staring the treat down. They covered their eyes. They turned their chairs around. They sang little songs. They sat on their hands. The winners refused to even look at the opponent. Even 5-year-olds who won the willpower game won it by refusing to play it. So here's the math that should change your life. Every moment you spend resisting is a coin flip. Sure, maybe you will win this one, but stand there flipping long enough, tired enough, stressed enough, hungry enough, and eventually the coin lands wrong. And it only has to land wrong once. The goal was never a stronger thumb. The goal is fewer flips. So if you can't win at 11 p.m., stop fighting at 11 p.m. You can't outmuscle 11 p.m. you with 11 p.m. willpower, but 9 a.m. you can rig the entire game before that showdown ever happens. 3 weapons. Weapon 1. Decisions made in advance. Not, I'll eat better. When I order lunch on Tuesday, I pick the salad before I open the menu. We built these in the procrastination episode, When Then Plans. Decide the what, the when, and the where while you're calm, and the moment arrives pre-decided. There's no debate at 11 p.m., because the meeting already happened at 9 a.m., and tired you wasn't invited to reopen it. Weapon 2. Defaults. Whatever is easiest in the moment wins the moment. So make a good choice the lazy choice. The water is in front. The running shoes are by the door. The thing you're quitting isn't in the house. Disciplined people don't keep more discipline in their kitchen than you do. They just put the temptation on a higher shelf. Weapon 3 is the nuclear option. Pre-commitment. Make quitting expensive. There's an ancient story about a sailor who had to sail past an island whose beautiful song made captains steer straight into the rocks. He didn't trust his future self for 1 second. So, while the water was still calm, he had his crew tie him to the mast. And when the song hit, when he wanted to turn the ship more than he'd ever wanted anything, it didn't matter. The decision had already been locked in by a smarter, earlier version of him. That's your workout partner standing outside at 6 a.m. Skip now, and you're not resisting temptation, you're letting down a human being. That's real money on the line. That's the app that locks your phone until the timer runs out. Tie yourself to the mast while the water's calm, because when the song starts, willpower won't save you. Rope will. Now the deepest layer. Everything so far still involves a decision somewhere, and decisions are where discipline goes to die. The end game is removing the decision entirely. That's what a habit actually is. Repeat a behavior in the same context enough times, and your brain stops routing it through the expensive decision-making department and hands it to the autopilot circuit. Ask someone who's run every morning for 10 years how they motivate themselves. They'll look at you funny. There's nothing to motivate. Nobody is deciding anything. The autopilot is flying the plane. Then install the upgrade on top. Identity. Listen to the difference between "I can't skip this workout" and "I don't miss workouts." The first is a rule you're enforcing against yourself, a fight. The second is a description of who you are, nothing to fight. Rules get argued with at 11 p.m. Identities just act. And here's how you build one. Every rep is a vote. Every time you show up, you cast one ballot for person who doesn't miss. You don't need a unanimous election. You just need the votes to pile up until that's who's in charge. Time to assemble the machine. 5 steps. This is the whole system. Step 1. Pick one keystone behavior. The workout, the writing session, the early night, and shrink it until starting is stupid. 2 minutes. Yes, the 2-minute rule from episode 1. Don't do the workout, put on your shoes, and step outside. You're not building the behavior yet. You're building the person who shows up. Step 2. Schedule it with a when-then. When I get home on Tuesday, I put on my shoes before I sit down. Written, specific. The decision happens now, while you're strong, not at the moment of truth. Step 3. Rig the room. The default should be the behavior, and the temptation should cost effort. Shoes by the door. Phone charging in the other room. The snack you're quitting? Not in the house. Because at 10 p.m., you're not resisting a cookie. The cookie is at a store, and the store is closed. Step 4, and this one will save you. Never miss twice. You will miss a day. Life happens, and 1 miss is an accident. But 2 misses are the start of a new habit pointed in the wrong direction. So the rule isn't be perfect. The rule is that a miss is always followed by a show-up. One fallen domino never gets to touch the next one. Step 5. Track the streak. A calendar, a chain of X's, an app, doesn't matter. Every mark is one of those identity votes, and watching them stack up is the paycheck that keeps the machine running. The streak isn't the point. The person the streak is quietly voting into office, that's the point. That's the machine. Shrink it, schedule it, rig the room. Never miss twice. Then let the votes pile up until disciplined stops being something you do and becomes something you are. So no, you were never weak. You were fighting hand-to-hand at your weakest hour, while the disciplined people were quietly canceling the fights. You've got a brain that loses coin flips when it's tired, an autopilot begging for a route, and an identity built one vote at a time. You're not broken. You're wired that way. And now that you can see the wiring, you can change the pattern. Next up, lazy is the laziest diagnosis in psychology. Next episode, I'll show you what's actually running under the hood when you just can't, and why none of it is a character flaw. I've already cued it for you right here. I'm Sparky, subscribe, and I'll see you inside your head in the very next episode.